desperately sorry. I did mean to come in yesterday afternoon, but, oh, it all dragged on.
No matter.
His case was down for the morning. I mean, I had checked all that. But they got in terrible knots with the one before, and then they adjourned for lunch.
Did it last long, the case? Whatever his name is.
Oh, no. It was just a formality, really. You see, he pleaded guilty, so he was remanded for 2 weeks, pending probation officer's report. Oh, his name's Gary Corbett, by the way. The thing is, I desperately wanted to say something, but I couldn't, you see, because he pleaded guilty.
What sort of thing?
Well, how it really didn't matter.
Come on.
He broke into your home.
Yes, but...
Yeah, I bet it mattered one hell of a lot when you just switched on that light and saw him standing there.
Well, then, yes. Thought I was going to faint. But after the initial shock, I realised that he was frightened too.
I dare say he was frightened, but you can count yourself lucky he didn't attack you. Adam was right to call the police.
Maybe.
There's no doubt about it.
Yes, but he did that straight away. I mean, he hadn't even spoken to the boy. Well, I'd had half an hour talking to him. I mean, surely I was in a better position to judge his character.
Are you sure he wasn't just laying it on for you?
Oh, I don't think he was that clever. I mean, he might have been, but I've got to admit that. But, well, he was so frightened, and he was shaking and kept talking about his mum and dad. I mean, if it was an act, he deserves an Oscar.
Well, you're on your lunch hour, are you?
Yeah, but I can't stop.
Yes, of course you can. I'm just taking this tray up to Glenda. She's having a lie-in.
Oh, good.
Have you had your lunch?
No, but
well,
it's
let's have a bit with me then. Come on.
Yeah, but I can't.
Oh?
Well, I'm just taking these posters round for Miss Sharon. I brought one for you.
Oh, thank you.
You, will put it up in the window, won't you?
Well, but they didn't do any good, do you think? I mean, everybody's made up their own minds around here, you know.
They have? Which way? Oh, yeah, but we ain't had the meeting yet.
Well, you've made your mind up, haven't you, love? It's a free country, you see.
Yeah, but you will put it up in the window, won't you?
Well, I don't think so, but I'll take it, just in case.
Well, you ain't got nothing against handicaps, have you?
No, of course I haven't. But Kevin works with Percy Dobson. You see, well, for him, really.
Oh, yeah. Miss Sharon was saying he's scared of him, isn't he?
No, he's not scared at all. But he can't cheek him either. You understand, don't you? Look, if you disagreed with Miss Metcalfe... I'm just saying if you did. You wouldn't disagree with her in public, so to speak, would you?
Yeah, but Sis does. I mean, Miss Sharon knows, and she's fair.
Well, I don't think Percy Dobson sees it like that. But I want you to know that Glenda and I are on your side. And I think Kevin is in his heart and soul.
Yeah, but people don't hear that, do they? Or see it.
And it will cost that much, will it? OK. Thank you. I'll be there at about 6 o'clock. Right you are. Right. Well, it means changing the locks on the back and front and some device or other for the windows.
Very expensive.
Yeah, a few £100 to keep him and his like out. Oh, it makes my blood boil.
What does?
Well, magistrates pussyfooting about.
Well, they've called for a report, that's all.
Oh, yes, we all know what that means. I mean, we'll have a probation officer saying that he's a choir boy at heart, and then we'll have the social worker saying, well, he's not had a job since he left school. And what do I get?
Well, that's a bit black and white, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah. Well, when you move into grey areas, things tend to get a bit blurred, don't they?
Oh, was looking for Sid.
One of the few occasions when I can actually say I know where he is, Doris. Liquid lunch.
Ah.
Any message for him if he gets back?
Well, you could just tell him, yes, please.
Make his day, that. Yes, please, what?
I do want to go with Mavis to see Mrs. Flood. She's a medium.
I know. What's wrong with Benny? He's cheaper. Bit of an expensive lark, I heard.
Depends how much you want to hear.
Depends how much you want to listen and pay.
Are you saying I've got more money than sense?
I'm expressing surprise, really. Not your cup of tea, is it? Common sense lady like you.
She doesn't charge.
I went to one once. Cross me palm with silver, or there is no future.
She's not a palmist or a clairvoyant. She's a spiritualist medium.
And that makes it right, does it?
Take it above the sarcastic contempt, yes.
Sorry.
I understand she's helped other people, and Reason to believe she can help me.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we go over that bill of the rover that he's objecting to? I'd like
I
to
have to
sort
do
of...
it after lunch. I've got an appointment. Oh, and if Sid gets back before I do, will you give him a message for Mavis? It's Doris's message that, yes, please, you're in need of a message, yeah? That's it.
But what's that all about?
I want to see the spiritualist.
I haven't a clue, Doris.
Well, she goes on Wednesday evenings, Mavis.
Ah, I didn't realize you were interested in mediums.
Well, I wasn't, but I am now. And I'd be obliged if she'd take me with her. Do you think you can remember that?
Oh, sure. Spend half the afternoon with Sid under a metro. What else do we talk about?
Right, I'm much obliged to you. Bye.
Bye.
It's a bit noisy in here.
Sharon prefers it to the cafeteria. I'm meeting her here.
Let's sit over there, shall we? I wanted to ask you something. I've been approached by the Society to help setting up the house, if it goes ahead, to sit on the subcommittee.
I know. Sharon suggested it.
You know she wants to run the house, to be chief house parent?
I had heard, yes.
What do you think of her as a candidate?
Mr. Hunter, Sharon's my friend.
But you can speak as a professional. Would she work well with the mentally handicapped?
I think so. She'd run the house very efficiently.
Oh, that's not all there is to it.
Well, I'm sure she'd work hard at all aspects of the job.
What you said before about her liking a lively atmosphere. There'd be no social life in the self-contained flat. It would be extremely isolated for her.
Well, not that isolated. She'd have Nina.
Nina? Yes, the child she looked after. Why do you say have, Nina?
She's going to foster Nina.
Nina's what now, 6, 7?
7.
That's quite a responsibility to take on all at once, a child and a house.
Well, that way she could work at home and have more time for Nina.
Yes. But the reason for this project is not one 7-year-old. It's 5 or 6 adults who would be better off living in a community. Don't you think that would be a problem? Well, we'll talk about it later, excuse me. I'll leave you two to get something to eat.
Thank you. Sorry I'm late. There was some garage stuff I had to get out of the way.
You've applied for the house parents job, haven't you?
Who told you? It was Di, wasn't it?
And Mr. Hunter.
Ah. Well, I didn't say anything to you because I wasn't sure. I mean, after all, we might not even get the house. But I did ask you if I could, if I needed special qualifications or training, didn't I?
I thought you were asking about anyone. I didn't realize you meant yourself.
But don't you think it's a good idea?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name. Oh, Gordon Miles. Right, Mr. Miles. Well, I look forward to meeting you tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye. Probation officer.
Ah.
You know, for Gary Corbett. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen to him.
Have you any idea?
Me?
Well, I mean, you're always doing research. I mean, you must have sat in on these sessions in courts.
Well, criminal courts. Yes, more serious crimes, I've done that. But in this case, your guess is as good as mine. Didn't Mr. Miles give you any clues?
No.
What are you having him over to talk about, then?
Oh, he just wants to talk about the case in general and some scheme or other.
Well, that'll please someone.
Hmm?
Adam.
Oh.
I wish you two could see eye to eye over this, you know.
Oh, he's got blinkers on.
Even so.
He doesn't care what happens to the boy.
You don't think he'll go to prison, do you?
Well, I've no idea.
First offence.
Fined, more likely.
Well, he hasn't got a bean. I mean, he hasn't worked since he left school.
Look, Jill, I know it's awful to say this, but wouldn't it be better if you and Adam would just try not to get so personally involved in this and let the authorities get on with it?
Look, you haven't spoken to him, have you? I mean, all you've heard is the facts, the cold facts. You see, when I caught him, I mean, he just didn't behave like a criminal. He didn't look like a criminal. I want him to have a second chance. And if he doesn't get it, well, I shall feel guilty. Hello.
I'm working, as you can see.
Well, you'll have a break soon, won't you? can wait. I've just come from school. That's where I work.
I know where you work. Why the hurry now?
I'm sorry, Miss Luke.
So you should be, my girl. Could you pass me that polish over there? It's wicked to lose track of one's friends, if they are your friends, that is.
Oh, you were my friend. I know that. You're one of the best friends I had.
You can never catch up. You don't know what I've been doing these past 2 years. Didn't care, seemingly.
It isn't that, honestly.
It's worse when it's someone your age. I don't know you anymore, do I?
Well, you know that I'm a teacher. I told Benny to tell you I'd come and call.
Not the same as making the effort yourself, is it? Not so much trouble. You find time for Sharon Metcalfe, I see.
Sharon and I work on the group home committee together. That's why I've been so busy lately.
I've been back over a month.
Well, I had to go to Nottingham one weekend to see Uncle.
One weekend? How is he keeping?
He's married.
Oh, I'm very happy for him. Companionship is very good at our time of life. It can be a great blessing.
Yes. We're not so close as we were, Uncle and I. It's good he's got someone.
Who are you close to now, then?
I'm not sure that I am close to anyone.
It's a waste of the love in you, if that's so.
Miss Luke, I always leaned on people, on you, on Benny, on the Hunters. It was time I stood on my own 2 feet.
There was a time when you were as close as a daughter to me. A daughter.
Well, that's how I felt.
Don't say that, because it's not true.
Even daughters come home.
You were too precious to me for me not to wish you well.
Well, only that. To wish me well. May I visit?
I'm staying with Miss Tatum. She was the postmistress before your time.
Yes, I do know the address. I was going to call. Well, bye-bye.
Goodbye. I'm proud of you. Of your teaching. And of the campaign with the mentally handicapped.
I will call back.
Adam Chance here, can I help you? Yes, I'm sorry, madam, you didn't give me your name. Yes, I can give David Hunter a message. Look, I said I could give Mr. Hunter a message, not a threat. Well, you can't expect me to take an anonymous phone call seriously. It's some crank on the phone for you about the hostel for the handicaps. Do you want to speak to him? What? Oh, yes, yes, I shall give him that message. Every word of it. Goodbye. About the public meeting tomorrow, and she mentioned a threat.
Of trouble?
She said trouble.
Well, I'm going, come hell or high water.
So am I, but I don't think I'll wear my best suit.
Well, I will. I'm going to wear mine. You can't give in to those sort of people.
They are ordinary people with ordinary imaginations.
Are you trying to defend that phone call?
I do hope you're helping the handicapped, David, because you're certainly not helping this business.
Oh, why is there such a fusty smell in here in the afternoons? Horrible smell of stale drink.
Well, the ventilation's faulty. Get one clumsy devil with one drink too many and they spill something and you can smell it all week.
Did you want to tell me something? The way you were nodding at me in the staff room, I just wondered.
Oh, well, it was just when you said you'd had a word with Kevin, you know, about going off at me the other night, that I thought perhaps you'd...
No, I'm not, Doris. It's not that I haven't given it a lot of thought, but the kids think it would be bad for me. Oh, nothing against it, you know, but I mean, it would drag up an awful lot of the past. It could upset me. You do understand, don't you? And I mean, seeing the way things are with you, Glenda couldn't understand why you were so keen.
I'm only asking you to support me, Kath. You are my friend. I don't know Mavis that well. I mean, I'd rather die than go in there on my own.
Why go, then?
Yes. I suppose you would wonder. I hope we're good enough friends for you to understand this.
Go on.
Well, Tom was a sweet man. He had a major heart attack, as you know. Well, after the first one, somehow he was sure he was going to die. I spent many hours talking to him, trying to build up his hopes for the future, but he said he was quite sure that he had no future, not for him.
But people get better from heart attacks, Doris. I mean, how could he have known?
There was one night we talked into the early hours. I don't know how we got on the subject, but, well, he said he'd always been disappointed that he didn't go into spiritualism more. It had always intrigued him, but he'd never done anything about it. And it was then that he made this strange request. He said, I shall come back. I don't know how, but I'll find a way somehow to get in touch. And I want you to help me. Well, then a week to that very day, he had another massive attack and died. So, when I heard about this Mrs. Flood, I felt sure that she was the one that was going to help me.
Oh, yeah. Well, you must see her, Doris. I mean, I must admit, after hearing about Mrs. Flood like that, it's as if it's meant, isn't it? Oh, yes, I'll come with you, Doris. I will. I'll come.
Oh, it would mean so much to me, Kath.
I would like to increase your coffee order for the weekend. There's a reception on Saturday.
Come in.
Hello.
Oh, Sharon.
2 of our bills for you to stick on your bill?
Yeah, that'll be okay.
And don't forget, meeting tomorrow.
Oh, I wanted to talk to you about that. I just can't get out of the caterers do, but you'll be in good hands with David.
We need everybody.
I am not on the electoral register here, Sharon. It would be presumptuous of me to offer my views. That's what I believe the meeting is about, public exchange of views.
Would it be presumptuous to ask?
I am naturally sympathetic to your cause, but there are certain other issues you have raised.
Like?
I am told that you're encouraging Miss Cottrell to ask the management to entertain them in the restaurant here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe we're doing anybody any good by encouraging that sort of thing.
That sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel there's any contradiction there? Wanting them to have a house, but not wanting them to set foot outside it?
A little hypocrisy, perhaps, not just contradiction. What I mean to say is that certain facilities are inappropriate. The restaurant, for instance. The cafeteria...
I thought we'd agreed.
You and David Hunter agreed. I agreed to obey rules when I signed my contract. Miss Metcalfe was asking for my views.
I apologize.
Well, I found out what I came to find out, yes.
I shall be with you in spirit.
Super.
Now then, let's just...
Hi, Kath. Hello. I was hoping to have a chance to talk to you today.
I'm glad somebody wants to talk to me.
You're working tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, I was afraid of that. I knew we could count on your support if you weren't. Oh.
How's Benny going on with the posters?
Fine.
He called in with one for us, actually.
Didn't mention it?
No. Well, I think he wanted to keep it quiet. You know, he didn't want to make too big a thing of it because we couldn't put one up in our window.
Couldn't?
What with Percy Dobson's feelings on the subject.
And Kevin agrees with him?
No, not so much agrees, but keeping quiet, you know.
Well, I hope you're proud of him. Sorry, Kath.
I think you better know now that Kevin's going to be there tomorrow.
With Dobson. Thanks, Kath. Strange bedfellows, Kevin and his boss. Hmm?